whatever questions they are having, they can ask us the questions. So we can do that. Yeah.
Okay, so before that, Sunil, so
Yeah.
can somebody articulate the ask from the customer? What is the ask? So what I understand from the ask is you tell us the architecture and the components of Nuance and what you have done. So it's mostly a kind of a testing, right, or assessment of our capability on Nuance. Is that
Yeah,
correct, or
that's
is there
yeah, that
anything behind it?
that is what I
Okay.
understood. I believe Arpita might not be there, but Ravi was there. And I had this
Okay.
understanding from Ravi. Ravi, would you like to elaborate anything more on top of it? Because you told me that day that there is a guy called Ajay Singh who has joined there from Nuance and all, right? So they
Yes, sir.
would like to understand. So can you share about what are their expectations? What do you feel?
Actually, on the other day,
Ah.
Ajay Singh is the person who joined, actually recently joined
Hmm.
Mm.
Teleperformance from Nuance.
Hmm.
And this guy is having a background of Nuance, conversation IVR or chatbot and all that he has worked with in the past experience.
Hmm.
And this guy was moreover keen on interested in knowing, what all knowledge Servian is carrying on the Nuance mix
Hmm.
and what all products they have worked on. So he was saying like, can somebody explain me like, what type of architecture or what type of knowledge Servian is carrying. That day
Okay.
Dilip has
Mm.
also joined, but we didn't know the agenda, what exactly the
नहीं
question
कोई
is
बात नहीं
going.
कोई बात no problem
Uh-huh.
Ravi. So I have a problem uh, with the customer, right? That
Yeah.
what stage are you at, and why do you need to ask that? So I will join that meet, Sunil, and I would want to set up and ask a few questions before getting into a presentation mode. That look, nahi see that. So
Hmm.
that is this a refresher or an assessment or what? I mean, what do you want? How do you want us to do that? Because
Yeah.
obviously, our expertise on the professional services is going to be delivered by the likes of Deepak, Ravi, and our experts in the back end who are
Yeah.
not supposed to be engaged at this point in time for the discovery process. So I will
Correct.
make that point very clearly to begin
Hmm.
with,
Hmm.
and then we will set up an agenda that look, this is driven by Ajay only, or this has some backing from Jasprit or Lawrence or Munish or whoever is the stakeholder in the back end. Okay, bhai, check again
Yeah.
if these are the right guys or not. So it can be
Correct.
anything. I'm not questioning that or denying that, but we need to
Mhm.
know that, and that is why the first
Correct.
5 minutes will belong to a place where we will question them, and then we should be ready with whatever questions they ask us. That okay, yeah, it is an assessment, and I want to know if you are the right partners to engage with for Nuance Professional Services. Then we will address that. Okay, no problem. This is what
Yeah.
we have
Correct.
done,
Correct. Correct.
and so on and so forth. That's when we would
Right.
go into that presentation or
Yeah,
discussion.
because Baljit, as you rightly mentioned, we can always give them the reference that they were called into our office. We gave them a
Yes,
complete presentation of all the
correct,
skill sets, all the
correct,
practices that we are holding around this, right? So now
correct,
if they are
correct.
again asking, going back to the same thing, then it boils down to the question that you are in a way straightforward asking them, are you, asking about our assessment to be, I mean, assessment on our technology knowledge, or what is the agenda totally here?
No,
So
no. So what I
accordingly,
will
we'll,
do
yeah.
as a precursor, Sunil, I will write
Mm,
to Jasprit and mark very few people inside it.
yeah.
Maybe just me, and Jasprit and probably Arpita,
Mm,
and just let him know that I hope that he knows that the engagement is here, and
yeah.
it's not being driven by people, on their own. Okay, let me assess this and all that. So
Yeah, yeah,
whatever be the case, it has to be driven from the top and with some specific objective. So that's okay. I'll write a
yes.
note, and we will start the meeting on that note as well. And
Hmm.
then now coming to the point as to who presents and how we present and what we present.
Yeah, yeah. So I'll tell you about that because since yesterday
Yeah.
we have collated certain information. Anant has shared almost like 4 5 case studies, big case studies
Okay.
that we have done for 3 or 4 verticals there in US. And
Right.
then Ravi has added the bank musket, which our PS team has done that, which is a good work
Perfect.
in total.
Yes.
So 3, 4 case studies from Anant, one case study from Ravi, which
Yeah.
definitely would do the purpose. But my point was, let's not go
Yeah.
into depth of, because these guys should be knowing. I mean, Ravi definitely has done that hands-on. Anant has done that hands-on along with the team members of him. I don't know about the
Yeah.
complete details, but yeah, they are already on top of that. If they have any questions in depth, they can definitely answer, or we can check offline and we can let them know. But the way I wanted it to be is it should be led by Deepak initially for first
Yeah.
5-10 minutes, just talking about the services and the things that we have done, including Nuance, focusing more on Nuance mix, because that's their need. If we unnecessarily focus on NDFs or anything else, we can tell them
Yeah.
that, oh, these are the areas that we have worked on, but Nuance mix
Yeah.
is what we are doing work, and we are continuing to have our relationships. If you want to add on top of it, Baljit, you can always add that 15 or 10, 15 members from are certified, or even I
Yes.
can tell
Yes.
that
Yes.
we can all
Yes.
do that. And once we have done that, then Deepak will tell that there are 4 or 5 case studies that we have, we'll just give you a glimpse of them, and we'll just run
Yes.
through that, and he will take, say for example, bank musket first, followed by two
Yes.
or three of the D practices team, case studies. And once we have
Yeah.
done, we'll stop there after 15
No,
minutes
no,
or 20 minutes,
absolutely.
right?
We will stop and then I will ask a clear question.
Yeah.
If their questions become interrogative, I'm going
Hmm.
to ask a clear question. What is your plan to outsource, or what do you want your partner to do? And
Yes.
just a request to everybody here, right? Deepak, Ravi, Anand, Arup, left. Tha. Ek
Hmm.
minute, yeah. Sorry, guys.
Uh-huh.
Uh, I'm on the road. One thing that I really wanted to clarify here, right? That if the
Mhm.
question goes on NDF or NDEP, Nuance Digital Engagement Platform, and all of that, and they start asking you how
Hmm.
many you have deployed, what have you deployed, and so on and so forth. We should be prepared as a team to address those pointers. My my theme at this point in time, Sunil, is very clear, right? That we are going to be telling them we have all the skills that any customer of ours requires on Nuance. How many deployments we have done? I am actually happy to throw a number at them to keep them quiet. That, okay, we have done 4 deployments. We will give you the information. I want all of this to come to a stage where a scope gets clarified. And today the scope is not clarified. So
Hmm.
I am not saying we'll mislead them or lie to them, but
Hmm.
my point is we have to figure a way out in answering these questions at a level which keeps it open for us to reach a stage where the scope comes, and then we tell them, sorry, we can't do this. Yes, we can do that. But I don't want to tell them anything today because politically, I don't know today in teleperformance who is working on what angle. Once we understand who is working on what angle between this Ajay or Munish and Jaspreet and others, then we take a call as to telling them, okay, this is possible, this is what we can do, and for this we will, you never know. We could actually take an organization's help and outsource or backsource something on our account, right? So
Yeah.
that is
True.
why I don't want to say no today on anything. So guys, when you're answering, and if you are not across, let's say, NDEP or Nuance Digital Framework or whatever that may be, just say that,
Hmm.
Sunil, you can jump in. I can jump in, say that, okay, look, there is a full Nuance practice. We are
Hmm.
developing products and interfaces for Nuance. We can get all of that sorted for you. How many customers have you done? Okay, we have done a couple of customers in the Middle East and a couple of customers in the US. Oh, you
Hmm.
have done on NDEP? Yes, there is NDEP involvement as there. This is how we will do a curt response. And then I'll jump in and say, what do you want from us?
Hmm.
Have you got the clarity of NDEP today? Do you want us to assess that for you? August, right. Do you
Hmm.
want that to assess these platforms to you or for you and then make a call? Do you want our consultancy in assessing nice versus nuance and then
Hmm.
help FIs take that? We will be asking them these questions rather than then interrogating us on our capabilities. You know what I mean, right? So answer
Yeah. Yeah.
in short and then deflect it back and ask them to finalize their requirements. That's my thought
Yeah.
process.
Yeah, exactly same. See, if I have to map it with the CX one, there we have already got certain clarity on certain features, additional features that they were talking about. That okay, these are the areas which is directly being delivered by the principal themselves. They keep it to themselves,
Yes,
so we don't have any
yes,
role to play there. Now,
yes.
the rest of the portion, whether it is DFO implementation, whether it is ACDs, whether it is call flow developments for email, chat, or whatever they want, that all we can do, and we have the capabilities. We have delivered 150 plus projects and they are
Yeah,
going on right now. We are continue to do that. When I
yeah,
have spoken to the team, and I think I am referring to Ravi here, I have had a discussion with him. So I believe that Ravi or Deepak or Anand, they can get together, or maybe they have already spoken, as I have mentioned. So what
yeah,
are the services that we have done work, and what are the product that we have worked on till now? If we
yeah,
can put that, and like you mentioned, Nuance digital engagement platform, if we know
yeah.
today that what all comes under that, and what all they themselves deliver. I think Ravi was mentioning that some of these vocabularies and other things are delivered directly by the Nuance, so there is
Yeah,
no
yeah, I'm
partner
coming to
involved
that.
into that.
Good
Yeah,
point. Good point. But sorry, I'm
yeah,
interjecting here.
yeah,
So,
yeah, sure.
look, we are not going to tell them, yes, we can do something which we for sure know that we can't, because then you are exposed as a non-credible person. But let's
Yes.
say on an ND EP or the digital framework, whatever is there around that platform, which we may not have done in the past, right? Let's say the ACD part, or let's say
Yeah.
they use the NDEP completely for the independent digital channel routing, and which NICE also does. When it
Hmm.
comes to that, that's where we will not say no at this
Yes.
time, at this stage.
Correct.
But
Correct.
if it goes to tuning and grammar and whatever, and if they ask us, are you authorized to
Hmm.
do some of those ABC or XYZ parts which we are not, then that's where, of course, we have to say that, okay, there will be nuance involved for certain things. And in they will ask you then, okay, in such cases that you have done in the past, what was nuance's involvement and what was yours? We can give a percentage 70-30, 80-20. For that, Deepak and all, Deepak, you will be able to kind of authoritatively tell them, right, as to where they will have to come in, correct?
Yeah, Baljit. So I can put a number and say like we did this application part of it, and for tuning nuance were involved in collecting these and tuning the grammars. I can tell them.
Correct, correct, correct. And can you do it? Do you have the skill and all to do it? Why do you want nuance involved? What could be your typical answer there, Deepak?
So, in terms of analyzing the speech patterns and all, we don't have the tools that are used by Nuance today. So that's where
Mm,
we are not trained in that tools, and we have never been exposed to those tools. So that's why we engage Nuance today. But
mm. But
this isn't a traditional voice platform. But if it is like
yeah,
a mix or something, even today we are doing the voice grammars ourselves. So that should not be an
yeah.
issue.
So it should be mix only. We will talk about mix only then. If they
Yeah.
talk about traditional platform like the Kotak one, then
Mhm.
we will tell them that it's a joint proposition between us and Nuance. But when
Mhm.
it comes to mix, we will tell them that okay, we are fully capable of doing that ourselves. Correct? That's a correct answer, right?
That would be is my guess because right now we have only had one implementation. At least I'm talking internally here. Only one implementation wherein we hadn't had a chance to go through the utterances and provide improvements. So that is
Mm,
something we have never done in reality. But
mm.
wherever look at the documentation in terms of nuance mix, they said it is all customer driven. It can be done, but there are some
Okay,
services in terms of speech scientists that are still available for them. So that is
okay.
something a gray area that we haven't explored yet.
Okay, so that's okay. So my answer here is that in nuance mix, we have the full. We are totally skilled to even do the tuning and grammar.
Mhm.
Although there is an optional OEM service for some speech scientists, which at times we have utilized on a needs basis, and we will have to
Got
tell
it.
you whether we need that or not. We will be able to, or we will be in a position to tell you only
Mhm.
when we can scope the requirements of yours completely. Mostly it is done by us for pretty much all use cases. When it comes to mix, we haven't got the chance or whatever. We will get that trained, and I hope Sunil has had a chat with about our
Got
discussion
it.
with Prakash
Yes.
and all, because these are going forward technologies for us as an organization. And this is where the entire, so even I am in these discussions with Garon at this point in time, and Nuance has to be the top OEM, right, Sunil? So we have had that discussion. I'm sure your team knows about it. So our positioning should be as if you have to imagine 6 months down the line where we'll be having extra pair of hands, brains working on this in the next 2-3 months itself. So don't answer basis today, answer basis next 3 to 6 months.
Sure, Baljit.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. From the certification perspective, also, Baljit, I know you
Yeah.
might be knowing it, but Sriram was driving it through the members there in US. So
Yes.
he or somewhere from some sources from Nuance itself, I got to know that Servion is the third most certified vendor in their list. So they are
And that
preferring us
means,
in that terms, right?
yeah, so that
So
means in India, we are the first only
we
one.
should be the first one. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So that's fine. That is fine. Yeah.
Deepak, is it possible if you can move to some room because there is some
Oh,
background here?
sorry.
If it is
Yeah.
possible, yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay,
Okay.
so
So
is the
that's the
presentation?
positioning
Yeah,
part.
yeah, yeah.
And the start part. And when we go into that 15-minute presentation, we will do that without asking them questions, but then we will stop and ask them some questions as to what they are heading towards, how do they want, or what problems do they want us to
Hmm.
solve, and so on and so forth. Let's say they have some answers, or let's say they say, no, we don't have a clue today, and we will be figuring it out with you, and so on and so forth. So let that happen. And objection handling in terms of what you have done specifically on this. Have you
Hmm.
done tuning and grammar on mix?
Mhm.
So yeah, we have done it for a couple of times. One in the Middle East, one in the US. But as I said, these are standard or non-standard cases. We will have to figure out whether we need a speech scientist from there or not. Short answers and answers which will tell them, yes, we have done that as well.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
Sure.
Okay.
I'll wait Deepak to be in some of the rooms, and then I don't know if Ravi, Anand, or Smarak, you have a copy of the presentation that you guys have worked on. Were you able to make the changes?
Yeah, Sunil, actually, yesterday I discussed, I have shown 5 different customer architecture.
Use cases, correct.
Yeah,
Reach it up.
yeah.
So have
Uh,
you can you
yes,
show those changes that you have made?
yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So today, me and Ravi and Smarak had together to do some changes. I shared some of the Nuance India framework, which is
Okay.
actually I
Okay.
just so
Okay.
this is
So
actually
yeah. I'll keep you asking to change the slides quickly. We'll have a just a
yeah,
glimpse of all this. No, go to the second slide, the
yeah,
previous
sure.
one. So agenda you have covered now, voice portal solution, Nuance NDF, Nuance mix, and backup slides. Okay, move on to the next one.
Yeah, sure.
Then voice portal solution, NDF architecture deployed. Okay, so here we are talking completely about the Cisco infra, and we are also saying that AEP. Okay, Avaya and no. Oh, we are talking about all the integration
Yeah,
partners here with
so
the
what
NDF.
what we
Okay.
did actually, instead of having it a different
Three
architecture,
different, yeah,
yeah,
this is
we
good
come
that they
together
have
consist
compiled
of
into one. Yeah.
in the one architecture we can explain instead of doing it the same for all the customer, we can
Hmm.
illustrate the entire overview of the Neon's voice portal application. It's consists of
Okay.
entire framework and other voice portal
Okay.
option other
Okay.
systems.
All right. Next slide.
So when we talk about we are mainly focused on NDF architecture. So what we
Okay.
thought of putting it high level architecture so that they can understand what really we are doing in the NDF development kind of
Yeah.
thing. So that's the reason we have put the
No, it's
entire
good to keep it. We know that
yeah,
we'll not go into that much of depth of any one of these slides, but it is good to keep it here.
Yeah.
Probably while Deepak maybe touching base on some of these, he can just read out some of these
Maybe
and yeah.
we will hide these slides. We will not go into deep technical things. Sunil, maybe that's what I would say.
Yeah.
Maybe we can tell them like we have worked on. If there is a question on the they explaining us the inner workings, maybe we can say like, what do you need, guys? Tell us, no? And then
Yeah.
we can go into that in a different call or in the same call itself. But for now, I would say, because this slide will consume 5 minutes.
Yeah, I
If
know that.
somebody
So
starts
we
questioning, somebody starts
correct.
questioning this.
No,
So
my
So
point
we,
was also this, that overall on the architecture side, we will be talking about, but we will not go into the detail of it. We'll tell that
in
this
terms of
is
architecture, I would
hmm,
say we will only use the actual
the
use case
use
architectures.
cases. Okay.
Use case architectures. That is what will interest them, is my
yeah,
Okay.
guess.
Makes
actually,
sense.
I have because I have that architecture as well. So
Yeah.
No,
we keep it. Yeah.
one moment, guys.
Mm.
See, if you ask me, I wouldn't hide this. What I'll do is I'll I'll just bring it up, have a 30-second talking point on the fact that, hey, this is how this NDF architecture is, and then also say that this, I mean, we're not going to offer to them that we will explain this to you so that you can assess us, because that's not the intent of the call. But we can tell them that, look, if someone is keen to go through this with us in a separate call, we are happy to go through this, the architecture and what we've done. But then and quickly move on. The reason is, the intent is that if you bring something like this so complex, and also the confidence of speaking on that slide, they would, all the minds which are there who want to assess this will be very, very clear that they know exactly what they're talking about. As
Exactly. Yeah, I completely agree on that. And that's what my
Sure.
point was
I
also.
didn't just have a 15-20 second talking point on it.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm
Yeah.
breaking.
Yeah, a little bit,
I
but
might be.
yeah. Yeah. Little bit breaking. Yeah.
Sorry.
Arpita, you
Okay.
want to say something?
Yeah, sorry. There's a message on WhatsApp group by Inderjeet where we
Hmm.
have been asking for a time slot to walk them through slides. But he's saying just send the slides and we will let you know we want to talk or not.
No, we won't do
So
that.
that's why.
No, I don't
Yeah.
think
No,
we
we
should
won't
do
do that.
that.
We won't do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
No, we won't do
Okay.
that. We won't do that. Sorry, no, that's not the case here.
This is the first
Absolutely not.
technical
So
call.
Hmm.
I'm going to write a note to Jaspreet anyway, Arpita. So yeah, we are not going to send those slides. If they don't have time, or if they don't have a proper agenda behind this, let me write to Jaspreet and ask them, or ask him, if this has been blessed by those guys, or it is just an initiative by the by somebody from Nuance Practice. That's fine. So look,
Move on to the next.
staying
Yeah.
on this, right?
Yeah.
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 This
Sorry.
we can just do that 20-second thing, Deepak, Sunil, right?
Yeah.
Just to at a high level, right? See, in this case also, you can see there is a VXML browser interface or a voice portal interface, and
Correct.
then goes to this, and then, so we can just explain in
And
a bit of a
yeah.
block, yeah, and
Correct.
go on.
And we can talk about, like, the backend services, what all we have integrated with web services,
Exactly.
databases, others. These are the configuration files that we have been working on, and that's it. Just move on to the
Yes.
next slide. Yeah.
Yes.
Ne- yeah.
Yes.
Move on to the next slide, Anand.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
This is one of the slide on the
Nuance
bank
mix.
musket.
Basically, I
Yeah.
think this is talking about the bank musket, right?
Yes, exactly.
Because I see a via voice portal and all that. I think Deepak is already on top of it, Ravi also. So I think we can spend some time on it, but again, not that
Yeah,
much.
this is good.
Yeah,
This is
this
good.
is good that
Yeah,
we can talk about.
this. Yes.
And so I believe that out of the most of the slides, this is the slide where we'll be taking the most of the time, right, Deepak?
Yes, Sunil. Yes, Sunil.
Okay.
This is the
Yeah. So
most relevant one for
yeah, this is good. Yeah. Once we
his.
have done
let them ask questions. Let them ask questions on top of it. Guys, I'm so sorry. I'm rushing because I have only 4 minutes to join something else.
Okay, no worries. I think
Can I have a look at the slides?
yeah, rest
Huh.
of the slides. Yeah. Next slide, Anand.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, this is Nuance mix components.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
internal component. How voice platform integrate with the
This is also good. Go to the next one. Go to the next one.
That's all.
So
It's a main
backup slides.
slide. Yeah,
Yeah,
those are main
that is
slide
good.
which are planned. Backup slide if they want
The
to.
other case studies, yeah, other case studies.
Yeah.
Can you show those also?
Yeah.
Baljit haven't had looked on. So typical user call flow. Okay, next one. Krypton only recognition, raw recognition. Okay, next one. Semantic. Okay, yeah, this is what Ravi was talking about. Yeah, go next. Grammar modification. Go next.
This is good. This is good.
Yeah,
That's
this is
all.
good.
That's all
Also,
we have.
Yeah.
so those 3-4 other case studies that we build up from, I mean, that we were having from a D perspective, I believe, I mean, just keep them handy if you can keep
Yeah,
them
yeah,
as well,
yeah.
just in case, right? Because we are talking about only one architecture here, though we have worked on many others. So either we have to cover up with them, or you can, just make the changes on the headings. Because yesterday you are putting the customer name. If you can just put telecom in a US, a leading telecom in US like that, if you can just put in those, I think those would also be helpful.
Yeah, we
So
put some.
otherwise, I think these slides look good. What do
Yeah,
you think, Baljit?
Yeah.
No, I think absolutely. And we will also tell them that, depending upon the requirement, we have some backup slides where I hope you have all those talking points on those Krypton and raw and everything else. Because if we show something, then we got to be prepared with some 2 levels of objection handling as well. Or when I say objection, meaning some deeper questions. Okay, how do you do this and what do you do that? I'm sure we'll be able to answer those. That's not my problem or challenge. But if you put in some other use cases in the backup slides also, it will only show some more depth. We may not go through each of that, and when the agenda is being spoken, we'll say we will talk about the most relevant use case. Although we have multiple, and we don't want to go through all of those use cases, but we'll talk about the most relevant. But in the backup slide, we can even if it is 2 or 3 seconds view for them to see those, that only creates an impression that these guys have much more in the backend and they're not relying on only one or two use cases.
Yeah,
It's
correct.
about perception management, to be honest here. Yeah.
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 All right,
Yeah.
Baljit, you can drop. I'll continue with the team for
Okay,
another
I'll
few minutes.
carry on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I believe the session will keep with the customer likely mid or Thursday next week, because Deepak obviously is traveling. So we'll plan accordingly. Huh?
Thursday next week, we have an event in Mumbai from 6 o'clock or 5 o'clock. So,
yeah.
it is. So that's okay. Look, that's not a problem. But whenever it is set, first of all, I'll send an email asking where this is coming from. And it's not like share the slides with us. We will have to take you through that. There are practice people for that. And then when the call also happens, we will make a theme to it that we will be asking them questions rather than them asking us questions also. So we'll do that part. Yeah. But thanks everyone for getting this together. And because Nuance will be the only thing that will push us, or it's like our sticky factor. So I don't think TP will get anybody else to do this for them. So we want to really it says that yes, there is a capability assessment that we are looking for, and we need a buy-in from Ajay or whoever. Then it makes us, more, inclined towards doing a good job here. So that then there is a tick mark that okay, this partner knows what they're talking about. That's the overall change.
Right. All right.
Okay.
Thanks, Baljit.
Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah.
Right. Thanks.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you. Bye.
And Anand, if you can add those 3-4, as I mentioned, I think just change the name and share it with or just put it at the end of this and share the complete slide. Huh? These slides look good actually.
Yeah, we have modified the name actually.
Sorry.
Anand, your team started working on mix projects right now, right? So do you have any of those latest ones with you?
Yes, actually, yesterday I talked about actually we have been working on mixed back, and one of the guy he started 2 months back. one of the USAE project, which actually migration project from VXML to Nuance Mix. He recently joined actually. I have put slide yesterday, but I removed today actually since we don't have a complete picture of the project.
Okay.
That is the reason I have
Okay.
removed it actually. I have shown
Okay.
yesterday in this
Yeah,
project.
yeah. Okay. One more
Okay.
thing which I recall now. I am seeing CVP, AEP, NVP. Do we have use cases for other things like especially nice CX1 because they might be talking about that or a Genesis? Can we add them here or we have not worked in any of such cases?
Mostly we have covered these cases.
These three.
Yeah,
But
these
can you
three
check?
most of them.
But can you check with the team where we have done integration with Nice? That would be actually awesome. Because that's what customer is also looking for. We can always tell that, oh, we have done something for Nuance, sorry, Nice customer as well, which was this and that. Even if it is a small thing or something like, doing a very small portion of Nuance, but at least we would have this thing that we have worked with them. So just
Yeah,
check
definitely.
and
I will check
let
with the
us know.
team see if anybody worked
Yeah, as
on
you know that
process.
we still have another 3-4 days because it would definitely be planned next week, Wednesday, or if not Thursday, then Friday. So whatever time, then at around 4 to 6, I think that's what we will be planning for. But then, yeah. So for now, the only remaining actions, Ananta, is that you would pick up all those 4 or 5 case studies that you have shared yesterday. Just name them as we discussed about, like leading US telecom or something like that. And
Yes.
then just make them a little bigger also, because yesterday I see that you were required to use the Microsoft Team tools to zoom them in, right? So zooming in is not needed. So like this one, this is coming out very properly. So like that, and on the left hand side, you can put in some of the components of the
Yeah, Ravi helped
Nuance
me.
that would be
In
helpful. And yeah. So all that. Okay, I
yeah,
think
definitely.
we are pretty much done. Any other point, Aru, Arpita, anything that you wanted to have?
One thing is, Sunil, so
Yeah.
I start off with our capabilities, right? So
Uh,
should we add a slide for that, or I will just do the talking there?
no, go to the first slide, the first one. Oh, this is the agenda. Agenda. I believe so. In agenda also, we will have to talk more about the nuance mix architecture. But then, yeah, this is a right flow. But no, but since as we told that NDF, if we say high level diagram, we will just skip through that and we'll talk mostly about the nuance mix. So in the starting, when you are telling them about what all we do, so I think on this agenda slide itself, we'll spend a couple of minutes. We need not to actually prepare something, but we can talk about that, right?
Yeah, we have a
And
slide actually. Aru
oh,
has
we have a
shared
slide.
something.
Then that would be good. Yeah, we can include that.
Anand, can you open that? Let's see how much things we
Yeah,
will
Yeah, I
need
think
to.
like
the
yeah,
whole
definitely.
slide actually
I think
already
Deepak,
shown to the customer. I think by
yeah,
that slide.
yeah, Deepak,
Okay.
Sunil, like what I suggested is like
Uh,
you remember Sunil, like when TP team came to Chennai office and
hmm,
Dilip was giving one presentation, right?
yeah,
And
yeah.
couple of slides, maybe like I'll help the team in putting together one particular slide. Maybe I'll add that slide to it so that which talks about specifically the nuance capabilities. Only one slide, maybe like some of the product development experience what we have. So maybe like I'll come up with one slide, but we have a slide. We have a slide deck wherein like Dilip presented. So from
Hmm,
that, like I can put together one slide on it, and
that
then we
would
will
be
add it
awesome.
here also.
Yeah, please
Yeah.
share that. We should be doing that.
Once you are
So
done, Aru, just what I will
actually,
do is if something is missing that we from PS team has done certain things, maybe I will add those two there.
100%. Yeah.
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 In fact, like that
Ravi-
slide alone
Just
separately, I'll prepare that today, tomorrow, and then I'll send it to you and the entire team also. Deepak. Like you can have a review, and
Sure, Aru.
maybe like you can add it to that
Sure.
also.
Sure.
let's be careful. It should not call out that we haven't worked on digital engagement platform and all. So my only
Okay.
worry is if you want to put a slide of whatever we have done and how many projects, then it should
Mm-hmm.
not call out that we have not done certain other products or other solutions. So
Okay.
because
Yeah,
as
and
Baljit said, right, we are going to say we have done everything.
Right.
So we
Okay.
might put, we can put a like what kind of partnership level we have. We have done services where we do directly, or we work with product development team also. We have X number of certifications and all we can put, but let's not go get into a solution specific or product specific, because that will call out what we don't know or we have not done.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Right.
Okay.
Right.
Makes sense. Okay. Yeah. I'll attempt that slide, Arpita, and then I'll send it to this team
I
so
have
that we
some
can also
old
review.
slides that we had created for Nuance. I think I'll share with everybody. I will reshare. If you want to
Sure.
use something from that, you can
Perfect.
use it.
Yeah.
So
So
those
basically,
one or two
Aru,
slides.
you also share.
Yeah.
Yeah, Aru, you also
Yeah.
share, and Arpita, you also share. We'll have a look on them, and we'll see
Correct.
what would be good to accommodate accordingly. But it
Correct.
should be one slide basically, maximum two, if we
Yeah.
have to, because then it would be too much for Deepak to speak on also. So I think
Right.
one
Exactly.
slide would be
Yeah.
good enough. Yeah. Okay. Ravi, you wanted to
Correct.
say something as well. In between, you also raised the hand.
Yeah, I was looking at the Apta question that we need to add the NDF2 mixed migration. So Apta, generally, if it is a NDF2 mixed migration, again, installation point of view, it will be a new environment for mix, and migration would be the application migration only, and grammar migration. So Deepak, I'm not sure if we have any tool in the Nuance which can directly migrate the NDF-based application, because NDF is the, again, IDE, which helps to build the application. Do we have any tool in the Nuance?
But yesterday there was a slide, Ravi, right? Anand shared from the XML NDF to mix migration.
My understanding is there is no tool actually. Basically, what we have to do, I think, the people are working currently. My team is working, and is generally the existing XML code. We have all the flow, whatever states, nodes, or which is actually already there in the code. They are manually migrating to
Manual
mix UI.
development.
That's what they are doing actually.
We do have a migration experience also, wherein we are migrating from NDF to mix. Is it?
Yeah, now currently.
Is there a customer where we're doing? That's what is the question.
Yeah, he's not doing from NDF. Actually, it's a raw VXML
Raw
migrating. Yeah, raw VXML. He's migrating from, as of now, he's doing mix migration.
Raw
Not NDF.
NDF you said, right? Not mix.
The mix only I'm talking about. He is converting all VXML. That is actually basically the existing IVR is implemented in the entire VXML language. Actually, what he is doing right now is converting all VXML code into Nuance mix.
Okay.
Not from NDF. Not from NDF.
Okay. Got it.
So even in the NDF case also, we have to do similar way. We have to convert all. We have in the NDF we have all the nodes which is implemented in the existing configuration. We need to manually we have to do it. There is no tool as of my understanding.
Okay. All right. Good discussion today. I think we are reaching where we wanted to. And let's meet somewhere next week also. I'll again keep a meeting accordingly. But meanwhile, whatever is requested, like Arpita or Aru, if you can share the information, I think we'll have a look on it and we'll update that.
Sure.
And Anant, you have to add the use case slides at the end of it, just making some changes as we spoke about.
Yes, sure, definitely.
Okay. All right. Thank you, everyone.
So last thing, I'm not replying to Inderjeet anything right now on WhatsApp.
Yeah, don't reply. Either. I'll talk to you offline on that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Thanks. Yeah.
Thanks.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Yeah. Thanks everyone. Bye.